Konnichiwa mina, this is Sakura and you're watching PokeCast. Today's video is a video response to Metal Jesus' top 10 GBA games, or Game Boy Advance, in case you don't know that one. But, after watching a really good top 10 pick, Metal Jesus asked all of us, so what is your top 10 Game Boy Advance games? And I really had to think about it. Got a good pick on them now, and yeah, well, just to kind of help start off and talk about little things. The first thing I want to talk about is how I play my Game Boy Advance game. Now, I do have a couple Game Boy Advances. Of course, going with the epic purple one. Don't have anything special, just at least have one of the originals. From there I have this is a 001 SP. This right here is the best one, the 101. And then the way I actually played my Game Boy Advances the most, of course, is my limited edition Famicom Game Boy Micro. This is my favorite one I have, and that's how I usually play my Game Boy Advances games. So let's go ahead and head over to the top 10 list. I hope you guys are ready, because mine's gonna be a little different, just like how Metal Jesus was. I don't really go for a lot of the main ones. I do have a lot of obscure ones that people are gonna be a little surprised. So let's go ahead and start that off.
On the list is PacMan Collections at number 10. This is one of the ones I was going to have on the list, but I wanted to put an e-card game on here, but I decided not to after talking to a couple of my friends. So, this is a collection of 4 different ways to play Pac-Man. As you can see, for the first one, it's my all-time favorite version of Pac-Man, Pac-Man mixed with Tetris. This is Pac Attack. And this is actually the main reason why I have it on me for most of the time. It's not my favorite game, but it is one of the most played games I have that I usually keep on me. Not only because of this, but because of the other 3 versions of Pac-Man you get to play. This is my favorite one. The next version of Pac-Man is this one right here. I like the art style because it looks beautiful, and it's almost kind of hard to believe at times that this is the Game Boy Advance version. Then of course we have this one, which is really wacky. I didn't enjoy this one as much, so that was number 10. Number 9, we have Tron 2.0 Killer App. This game I absolutely love because of the minigame. They actually have all the original arcade games on here, and this is my favorite part of the game. We actually get to play and drive the vehicles in a very good view of the game. This is just amazingly done, and really brings you back to the old gaming on, Windows 95 and all those old ones. Moving on to number 8, Warios Where Twisted. This is one of those games that you just don't want to bring up in public because you embarrass yourself a little. Fortunately, I wasn't really able to get a lot of footage from it, but I have a couple other videos up on my channel. They're fun to watch, including the wet dog. But this game basically is WarioWare Inc. with motion sensor games. It is a ton of fun, and also one of the hardest ones to beat, in my opinion, out of all of them they've made. Coming in at number 7, Choo Rockets. This is a re-release from the Dreamcast, and what can I say? You have to get the choo-choos to the rocket before they can go ba-ba-ba-ba into the air. This game is one of those you just have to put the right pieces down to get them to do what you want, and these puzzles can get very hard very fast. The coolest thing is it has create your own levels, which you can then trade off to your friends. So this is number 7. Choo Rockets. Rockets forming. Number 6 is Max Payne. This is honestly my favorite version of the game. not only do you get these beautiful cinematics that are comic based, but with the real voice actors talking, which is phenomenal. Without this, the game wouldn't have been as good. Next is just how the game plays itself. You got bullet time, you got everything, and I died, of course. But this game is phenomenal. Just amazing. Coming in at number 5 is Metroid Fusion, which is actually the first Metroid I've ever actually beaten. It deserves to be on the list because it is that good of a game. It's challenging, a fantastic story, a lot of good things to do in this game. Coming in at number 4 is Yoshi's Island, Super Mario Advance 3. This is the re-release of Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. This one I have played. Man, I played this more than I played a lot of the other Mario games just because of how difficult this one can get. A ton of fun, and of course, the only annoying thing about the game is Baby Mario when you get hit. So you're kind of left there like, good thing about the handheld, it's a little easier to turn off the sound. But, no, I mean, these opening sequences right here are, actually, if I remember correctly, by the same machine that did the Donkey Kong Country animations. And then the game itself is just, it's pure Mario engine. Of course, with doing Yoshi, so you get to enjoy swallowing Shy Guys, throwing eggs, and helping to save the baby bros for they can go free. So that is why I really just enjoy this game right here, except for the last level, or I should say the last area, which is just pure evil. It's just, yeah, for anybody who's played the game, you understand what I mean by just pure evilness. Difficulty, but that's good. The difficulty makes it fun. So that is why this one is in the number 4, is just because I'd rather play this one over Super Mario World's release, or Super Mario Bros. 3, or Super Mario Advance 2, or 1, which is Super Mario Bros. 2 remade with some new things. So that was number 4. And there goes my neighbor being loud again. Yay. At number 3, Pokemon Emerald. This one had to be here. I mean, I'm a huge Pokemon fan, but this is my favorite one out of all of them. The story was fantastic. The upgrades that made the gameplay a little bit better were really nice. And I just like the legendaries from this one. And I really can't put Fire and Leaf up here just because they are remakes, but this one just really blew those ones out of the water, in my opinion. So that is why this is my number 3. Even though I put probably 500 hours into this game alone, it seems like, it's still not my number 1 game for the Game Boy Advance. Just, it's not there because of the other Pokemon games I'm playing now. Moving on to number 2. Warriors Wear Inc. Mega Micro Games. Now I know it's unfair to actually put 2 games from the same series on the list, but because of how different the gameplay is, it's here. This is my number 1 game of this series. When I picked this up, I was like, okay, cool, let's try this out. Started playing it, and I was memorized by it. I now own every version of the game released, except for, of course, the Wii U one, just because I don't have a Wii U yet. But the games are so simplistic, and it just got harder and harder and harder and harder to where you're just like, what? Plus, you get to unlock mini games such as Dr. Wario, which is, hence, a Dr. Mario clone, but it plays nice. So you also get mini games to help you want to continue to play the game even after you're done playing it. And just absolutely fantastic game. I'm really happy to have this on my 3DS, where I can always have this with me and keep my Game Boy Advance, my micro, with a different game in it. So that does make it a nice little feature with this game. But that was only number 2. And moving on to number 1, Game and Watch Gallery 4. This is my all-time favorite Game Boy Advance game there is. I have been playing these games since I was younger. I actually owned a copy of Fire, and with this one actually having Fire on it, right there, that sold me. It is one of my favorite games on multiple different systems, and so I'm so excited to have it. It was a smash hit for me on the Game Boy, smash hit on the e-reader, smash hit on everything else that's came out on. So without a doubt, this one had to be here because I just love these games. They're simplistic and challenging, and taking the time to actually try and get the top scores on most of them, it can take it out of you. Without a doubt. Some of these games, like boxing right here, are extremely hard. This one, I actually prefer the original version in my opinion. I don't like the newer modern version of it. I even was able to get the Game & Watch Gallery games from Nintendo Power, or I should say Nintendo Club, sorry. So, I've tried to get as much as I can before I can pick up those ones because of how iconic these games are. And if you ever see me walking around with my micro, this is actually the game that I almost always have in my micro. And I'm really bad at the Mario Cement Factory game. But if you're ever looking for a game that is you don't have to spend hours on end on the game. You can just put it in, play it, enjoy it, and have multiples of games already unlocked, and then you can unlock more games for you can enjoy. This is the game to pick up. It will give you the challenge that you're looking for and get you those top scores, which are just extremely hard to do and a lot of fun. Plus, you get a modern and classic version of each game on here. So that is my number 10.
So that is my top 10 for Game Boy Advance. I hope you liked my list. Of course, that's just my opinion, but with the obscure titles on there, definitely, with a couple of those, well, there's good reasons why they were on there. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Tisa Chris saying ciao and sayonara.